Actually, I don't think you know this one, Tim, but I'll just tell you right now because that's very good. The 9070 actually has a list of winds. So basically, you travel between altitudes, and the 9070 just writes down on this one thing you can put on your screen there, on your panel, what wind and from which direction you found it at that altitude, so you can kind of foresee what the wind is gonna be.
Yeah, nice.
Then, of course, there is the artificial horizon and everything. Actually, does that work? That's actually a good question that I just asked myself. And there is also a wall side view, which tells you if you pass over terrain or not. Yeah, you just have to kind of install the styler and go see what there is.
Yeah, I have to look into the details later.
I missed the final part of the streaming team. I have to go look for Laura, but it was okay to talk with you again and saw the Condor 3. It's really good news.
Yeah, very nice, Ezekiel. And see you later. Have a nice day. And
Thank you, Tim.
That's it.
and greetings to Laura.
Thank you, Tim. Greetings to you and greetings to you, Nicola, too. See you soon in Condor 3.
Yep, that's it.
Take care. Ciao, ciao.
Bye bye. Also, I just saw,
User
that there
disconnected
is
from
the
your channel.
Pawnee on our club's chat. An article was actually sent that was like Pawnee's grounded or something. That's not very good news. Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I am now looking at how to set up my 9070 for Condor. Wiek, one question. Do we have forecast implemented in the Condor Sim here?
Wiek is not here.
Yep. Yeah, sorry, Tim. I forgot to mute myself here. Wiek is actually on the FAI Discord.
Yeah, I might start up Discord as well. So I'll close TeamSpeak now.
So, Tim, are you coming over to the Discord?
Yeah, I am.
Okay, see you there then.
See you.
Disconnected.
No, he has one. He bought one.
Yeah, I mean, did he make it in Condor?
Well, Euros made the flight model for it. I think
Nice.
the 3D model is made by Chris, by Oxo.
Nice. And here is Tim.
Good evening, Tim.
So how do I set up a push to talk button? And
Go to settings. Hold on, it's lagging.
We have a question about the download. It seems that the download is not available anymore on the website.
Yeah, that's true, because the demand was so high in the first few hours that the server got overloaded. So we're just waiting for everybody that already bought it to finish their downloads, so they can, and then it frees up the server space for new buyers. So maybe the store will be up later tonight, and otherwise tomorrow morning.
As someone who's already purchased, thank you. Yeah, the purchases are still closed, I see, but at least now the downloads are, I guess, more doable. I've managed to download the installer, and it's now probably about 80% done installing the sim. So definitely a lot of space was freed up. Okay, so you go in settings. Oh, okay, no. If it's open in a browser, you cannot set up push to talk. You need to download it.
yeah.
because I'm in the wind shadow. Just see that I don't crash. So there is sink here, of course, because the wind is blowing over the mountain. But if I go a little bit further, there will be more sink.
Yeah.
So I'll just fly out a little bit into the valley, and then the wind comes back a little bit, but the sink also increases. So I have about 1 to 2 meters of extra sink now, 3 meters of extra sink, 4 meters. So yeah, the whole wind field is affected by the terrain, also the terrain upwind.
We have also Joren who joined the server.
Yeah, Jeroen Jennen, very good Belgian pilot, also in real life.
So unfortunately, he did not join Discord. Where is it?
And
Oh.
it's not only the terrain that that affects the wind field, it's also the thermals themselves. So the thermal will draw in air from the bottom and expel it again at the top. So you will feel and see the wind changes both on your PDA, and you will feel it in your glider as well. But to see the live wind on the PDA and on the instruments, you need the XC license. I think you can see the general wind in the normal Condor version, and you also feel the effects of it, of course. But to get the exact data on your instruments, you need XC.
One from Ventus V8. He's saying that the cockpit spectator mode is quite jerky, and yes, it was the same in Condor 2, I think.
Yeah, and if you look in spectate, it only gets updated every half a second. So because the server has to send all the data, so it can't be updated any faster than that.
Yeah, I think there is no change for this between Condor 2 and Condor 3.
I guess especially now with the fact that you also have to allocate bandwidth for two-seaters.
Yeah, that and also we have voice radio now in Condor, so you can use the radio actually to talk to other pilots live in the server. And it supports all the frequencies. So if you change frequencies, so we're on 1 to 3.5 now, which is the default one. But if you change the frequency, only the pilots who are on that frequency can hear you.
Oh, so so it's actually radio over so it's not like just working on the two-seater between the front seat and back seat.
Yes, you have open audio between the front seater and the back seater, so you can talk to each other when you fly a two-seater together, and you can also use the radio.
Nice.
And that's with push to talk, and the default key is spacebar, if I remember correctly.
Okay.
So if I use spacebar now, probably all the pilots in the server can hear me.
Nice. Is the voice kind of modified, or is it just how the microphone uses it?
No, just how the microphone is.
Okay. Yeah, I know a game that actually has this feature, and it modifies the voice to kind of sound like more like radio.
Can you say it again?
I need to set up my LX.
You are trying to speak, we can't hear you anymore.
No, sorry, I was talking on the radio in Condor.
Okay. So if you just started to watch the stream, we are right now discovering Condor3, which was just released today. And we have with us Wiek, who was really involved
Yeah,
in
I
the
can
development.
tell in a minute what I did for Condor3. If you want.
Yeah, let's go.
So I'm Wiek. I'm most of the Condor guys know me by my call sign Kilo Oscar Echo, I guess. And I've been involved in the Condor 2 development from just after release, which was in 2018, I think. I joined the beta team. And I started with making gliders for Condor 2. So first one I did was the K8. And I kind of rolled into developing more planes for Condor 2. So I did like the stem and what else did I make? The K8 and several other gliders. And basically I took on more and more
The
work.
ASW28.
Yeah, ASW28 I did as well. So I kind of took on more and more work. I made a new animation system for a pilot, and basically when we started development of Condor 3, which is about, I think, 3 or 4 years ago already, when the Discus 2C was, or the Discus 2A was released. That was the first glider we started making Condor 3 ready. And I basically spent a year together with Chris, and so Oxo is Chris, and Jan Oorthuizen is Whiskey, getting all the planes we already had up to that point ready for Condor 3. So we made, I don't know if you can see it in Spectate, but we made new shadow maps of the cockpits.
Check here.
So the shadows are really dark now, not like in Condor 2 where they are all one color. And we made the PDAs ready, we made new instruments and stuff like that. And in the meantime, Euros was developing the new weather model. So we did a lot of testing on that together with the rest of the beta team to get the weather and the thermals more realistic. And then the last couple of years we spent time getting everything ready. So all the planes making this landscape. And Michel, so DGT, he made the landscape for us with all the nice photorealistic textures. And then I developed some tools to make all the houses you see here in the scenery. These are made from OSM data, so OpenStreetMaps. I made a plugin for Blender, and it downloads all the houses, locations, and then makes these little buildings and makes patches ready for importation in the Condor scenery.
Okay, 3.
I don't know if the toolkit is up on the website already, because otherwise Chris will put it up in the next few days. And then I also made a tool to make all the power lines. I don't know if you saw them earlier in the stream. I tried to fly closer to some.
Yeah, you are flying too high.
Yeah, they are down by the airport. So the whole scenery is covered in power lines, which you can actually collide with. So be careful when you fly in the mountains. And then we had a whole team of modelers who made all the airports, the landmarks in the scenery. So we had Milos and Lubos and Jan, Xavier, a whole team who is all mentioned on the website, who made various parts for the scenery. So that's what we spent the rest of the 2 years doing, while Euros was developing all the nice weather and all the features. And as you can see, well, this airport is pretty flat, but it's possible to have sloped runways. There is grass on the airport. All the buildings have been modeled, so the airports look like the real airports. And I think they blend in really nicely with the scenery, so they're actually quite difficult to find, especially the smaller ones.
By the way, talking about the airports, I know that my local airfield is by default in the Slovenia scenery, so if you guys want to improve it in any way, I can give you feedback anytime.
Yeah, that's always appreciated. We can update any part of the scenery we want.
Great.
But of course, it can also other sceneries are in development, like Alcarpin, I guess, for version 3, which will also need the airports.
How long can we expect sceneries like Alcarpin to take to be upgraded?
I think that's you can better ask that to Michel, to DGT. I know he's busy on it.
Well, I have my local airfield in the default, so I'll be good for a while.
Yeah, so the scenery covers a lot bigger area than we used to have. So, by the way, down here you can maybe make out the power lines. There's 3 or 4 running next to each other here. I'll go a little bit lower and then show the FAS as well.
Yeah, I can actually tell from Condor3 experience when I flew along with another guy from my local club. We were flying in the Slovenia scenery. We were trying to go east, and it was quite a big bummer when we just found ourselves stuck, like in the around the niche. So it's very appreciated to have the wall mountain line now.
You're welcome. So here you see all the power lines. There's actually 3 different kinds here. So you see the big pylons, the medium pylons, and there is a small line running in between as well, with the small wooden pylons. And they are they're covering the whole scenery, so you have to be careful when you land out.
Real question now is, can we touch the power lines? If we are flying, for example, the Miniluck, can we touch the power lines to recharge the battery?
No, you can't. But a good question.
Here.
We have a question about Helix Nav. Can you share a bit about how Helix 9000 is integrated?
Yeah, so you go into the settings in Condor, and then I think in the options tab at the bottom in the instrument column, you can put a tick in the box that says use LX 9070. And that turns on the LX 9070 in planes that have, like the Minilac, the big PDA in the panel.
Also, another question about the 9070 is, does the artificial horizon work in the 9070?
No, not yet. That's on the list.
Okay, that's good to know.
So, and once you have it activated, it shows up. It replaces the Condor default navigation computer with the simulation of the LX 9070. And you can use your real life profile. So if you have a LX 9070 in the real plane, you can use your same profile in Condor, or you can make your own, either using the LX 9070 in the sim, or you can use Alex Styler from the AlexNav website. And then it's fully customizable. Almost all options work. Just as Nico just said, the artificial horizon is not working at the moment. But stuff like flap tapes, speed tapes, altitude, all the nav boxes, everything is synced between Condor and AlexNav. And the simulation is actually running in a separate window, so you can put it on a second monitor next to you if you want to use the bigger version instead of the screen in the cockpit. The task is synced, the airspace is synced, so everything should work together with tasks in Condor.
I have one question. I'm currently downloading Condor3, and I already downloaded the plane zip, and now I'm downloading the landscape zip. Are there any more files I need to download, or it's just planes and landscapes?
First it does planes, then it does landscapes, and then last thing it does is Alex Sim, but that's a small one. The landscape one is the biggest one and takes the longest.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm a little bit over halfway done with landscapes. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
How long did it take you to get to half there?
Probably around 3 hours, 2 hours.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Yeah, the servers are a bit overloaded because of the very high demand. That's why we stopped the sales in the shop for the moment, so everybody who already bought it can get it downloaded.
You need to reactivate them though.
So you see here in the chat in the stream, people are talking about that the autopilot doesn't work anymore, or at least it does work, but it doesn't keep the heading anymore, and that's because of the plane being pushed around by the turbulence. So if your wing gets lifted, the autopilot does counter, but it pushes the plane over anyway.
So another thing,
fly perfectly straight anymore.
Another thing about the autopilot, how does it work? So can we, if we have 2 people on the two-seater, can we still engage the autopilot, or does one have to fly it manually?
No, you can engage the autopilot as pilot flying.
Okay, so basically buff pilot seat control, how does that work?
The pilot who has control over all the buttons. So you can turn off dump water, set the flaps and stuff like that.
Yes,
and
they
also
are
use the autopilot. And if you switch controls, the autopilot depends if the autopilot had the autopilot engaged or not. If it's still engaged.
No,
that's why it's always good to tell the autopilot you have control when you give control.
Okay. So if so the person who isn't in control can't disable the autopilot.
No.
Okay.
Airspace.
Are there any plans to make a double-seating self-launcher, or it's just gonna stay with the Arcus, the DG1000, and the Duo Discus?
Approaching airspace.
We may have that, yes, but nothing has been announced yet. We make planes we feel like making, so.
Okay, thank you.
Sofus, jeg tror der er en massiv demand lige i øjeblikket på download.
So yeah, the multi-crew, anybody can use it. So standard version users and also XC users. You just log into the server and you go to the multiplayer tab. And in the multiplayer tab, you can see all the gliders everybody chose. And if somebody has a 2-seater and selects 2 pilots, then other pilots are free to join them. As long as they're not in the game yet. And they will get a message on their screen saying you want to accept or decline the pilot joining you. And then you enter the game. And then you can fly together. The pilot who has been joined is the pilot in command, and he can give control. He decides who has control.
I guess after Tim dragged me to my first and only Chin victory in the Arcus, but we were separate in Condor 2, I guess the next step is to win in the same glider.
Yeah, nice. Nicola?
The other pilots are talking about flarm. I have Tim close to me here, so let's see.
The question about OGN, because I know a bit about OGN. Can you translate?
Beep beep.
Vic, can you translate the question?
The question is if it's the real flarm data, are we also visible on OGN and Glide and Seek? No, but there is an app they made which does work similarly to that, which is kind of the Condor Glide and Seek. But I think the app has to run on the server.
Yeah. And 2 years ago, I think, we made a competition which was mixing Real Glider and Condor Glider. It was Condor 2 for sure, but we were able to do at the same time a competition, including the boss. It was nice. So with live tracking on UGN and so on.
So Jeroen is saying in the chat that there's 6 kilometers an hour wind, so the ridge is not working. And it's probably because he's in the wind shade of a hill upwind of him. I don't know exactly where he is. I saw them going west, I think. So if you get low in the valley, you're not going to get any wind and you're not going to get out.
A bit more realistic, I think.
Yes, don't get low in the mountains.
Is there a rain radar working in Helix radar?
No. No, the rain locations are not sent to the Helix.
Ja, Sovus, det er simpelthen...
So feel free to join us on the Discord. It's FAI Virtual Gliding Discord. So there is an open channel, so you can join at any time. You are live on Twitch. Just ask your questions to Wiek or other pilots flying right now.
Massivt run på
And you can also join
så...
us fly this new version of Condor3 just released. And we are waiting for Jean-David. Jean-David who should join us a bit later.
Yes, be done. They are.
And
you
with
can
him,
use them
we'll try to have
as well.
Inside view of the cockpit.
Approaching airspace.
Tim might be live streaming as well.
Yeah, I am.
So yeah, Tim is live streaming, so you can maybe pipe in the YouTube of Tim.
Yeah, I need to find it again. Oh yeah, I think I have. Yeah. We are live with Tim now.
So I guess Tim is using LXSim on his screen, right?
Oh no, sorry. It's using another video of Tim. Let me.
Yeah, I don't have the LXSim on my primary screen yet, Wiek, but it will come later.
Yeah, but in the sim you have it, right? In Condor.
Yeah.
So we're gonna have a Blanik air show at the end of it?
Depends if somebody joins us with a Blanik.
Oh, I can't see any Blanik here.
No, there's no Blanik in yet. I see Jeroen and Vertigo coming down there.
Hej Frederik, download-serverne er under massivt
No, there's
pres.
no birds in Condor3.
Jeg downloadede meget tidligt i dag på
Only bugs.
en halv time eller sådan noget.
I saw someone in chat wrote. Someone in chat is asking whether there is a chance of power gliders. Hello, Richard.
I can't say anything about that if... yeah, I don't know. I know Eurus flew paragliders before he flew gliders, and it still does, I guess. But I don't know if there are any plans to implement it in the future.
Yeah, I see the 9070 setup I need is way simpler for Condor than real life.
I had a really simple setup before, but I kept adding nav boxes when I was flying around, and oh, that would be nice, and oh, I need that as well. So now I have 3 rows of nav boxes.
Yeah.
Well, 15 of them, I guess.
15 pages, jeez.
No, 15 nav boxes.
Ah, okay.
But that's a good thing about the LXSim, which is available for everybody, of course, that you can customize your own PDA to your liking. And if you think it's too complicated, you just use the Condor PDA, which is really simple and also has all the nav boxes you need.
Yeah, another thing about having the LX9070 in Condor, which is very nice, when you actually try it out in the sim, like the normal sim, not the Condor sim, a couple of things may not appear, so in the end the result may not be what you expected. I did have that happen to me already, so it's gonna be very nice to be able to actually test the profile in Condor first.
Yeah, the good thing is now we can, now that the European winter is approaching, of course, you can set up your profile, customize it, pause the sim, change something, run it again. It will update automatically. So you can just try out different layouts, boxes, colors, everything you can customize in the LX styler, load it into Condor, try it out. If you don't like it, and you can make your own profile perfectly ready for next summer.
Are there any plans to make a DG1001E new, or is it just gonna stay with the mini lug and the dual disc boost?
I can't say anything about planes that haven't been released yet, so you can ask me anything, all gliders that are in development. I can't say anything about that, unfortunately. I know what it's in development because I actively work on them, but I can't tell you anything that's not been announced.
The gliders, like how's the progress on the gliders that have already been announced with the first announcement, like the 33, the Falke, and everything?
Yeah, we pretty much have the models ready. The trouble is that Eurus needs to make the flight models, and we thought it was more important to get Condor3 out than to have Eurus spend a couple of weeks on making flight models.
Absolutely.
So they will come at some point in the next few weeks or months.
That's good. That's very good.
So we wanted to get Condor out earlier than it has come out now, but there was some trouble with certain features which we definitely wanted to include. So that took a little bit longer in development. Yeah. But of course, we're very happy we made it before the European winter. So now we can have a lot of fun during the winter.
And I have now another question, actually this one about more racing actually, and specifically the Genesis. In Condor 2 it was in the standard class and it was absolutely uncompetitive. Is it any competitive now in the club class?
I don't know, we just have to see. Because also the weather model has changed. You need to thermal a lot more than in Condor 2. Especially since now we have quite easy weather conditions because the wind is from the south, and that helps the thermals as well. But if you have like wind from the north, it's going to be quite hard to find good thermals, especially in the mountains, and it's going to be a lot slower than we're used to in Condor 2.
Actually, with this thing.
If wind speed is low, like in Condor 2, we had like 15 kilometers an hour wind was enough to get ridge lift. That's absolutely not the case in real life, and it's also not the case in Condor 3.
That's fantastic.
You're gonna need at least like 30 kilometers an hour wind to get some decent ridge lift on the steep bits.
And with the fact that also the weather setting has become more complicated, do we get, just to make it more simpler for more casual users, do we have presets?
No, we don't have presets, but if you make a new task, there is weather set in it already, and it's quite easy to modify. You don't need to use all the weather zone stuff. So, like setting weather like it was in Condor 2 is also possible.
Okay, that's good. So the weather sense is just if you want to make it more interesting.
Yeah, you can use the weather zone system, so you can have up to the base zone, and you can then add 7 weather zones, which can all individually have different weather and move in different directions and at different speeds.
That's great.
So you can make the weather really complicated or really simple. And also with the new airspace system, so all sceneries can have airspace, like Slovenia 3 has the real airspace, but it's up to the scenery developer to add that. But there's full support for all the airspace, so tasks can be as complicated as you want them to be.
Nice. And Echo 20 gets, I guess, the view of Shane for the gear out.
A question from Sorin Pilatus. Is there a possibility to spawn anywhere in the map? Or do we still need to fly for hours sometimes to go to the correct location?
No. So if you go in the landscape map, in the Noteland tab, if you set the start type to air start, so the airborne start, you can move. You have to click on an airport first, so the start point is at an airport, and then you can move it anywhere in the scenery you like. So you can start anywhere with an air start, anywhere in the scenery.
Thank you. Lightning strike possible?
No, lightning strikes are not possible. You can hear the thunder, and if you get too close to the flashes, they blind you as well. It's quite bright white then, but they can't hit the glider. Of course, I would still not recommend flying through the rain, because you get a lot of sink and a lot of turbulence, and it doesn't do your glide ratio any good like it does in real life.
Did the winch start get a rework, or it's still like in Condor 2?
Sorry, I missed the question.
Is the winch did it like got a rework, or is it still the same like in Condor 2?
The model has been updated, but the launching is the same.
Okay. And someone asked in the FAI virtual gliding stream, does the gear is the gear affecting the performance of the glider when it's out, or is it still the same?
Yes, it affects the performance, but it did in Condor 2 as well.
Okay.
What's new in Condor 3 is that we have bug wipers. So if the weather settings are set to include bugs, all gliders will accumulate bugs on the wings. And certain gliders, like most of the performance ones, they have bug wipers if you have Condor XC. And you can activate them, and they wipe the wings clean. And bugs do affect the performance of the glider.
Yes,
so if you have your wings full of bugs, the glider doesn't glide as well.
Autopilot.
Do bug wipers, if mounted on the outside of the fuselage, generate drag?
Autopilot still is allowed?
If they do, it's very minor.
And does that increase when they are walking?
If they do, then it's also very minor.
But it
Okay.
doesn't work like Condor
And
2.
a question.
What I do have to say,
Take a
don't
look.
fly faster than 120 kph when you use them, because they will get stuck and they will break if you fly too fast.
And,
to see in the spectate mode if we can see it, or can you try it right now as we are looking at your bug wipers?
Yeah, stand by.
You will get
moving.
There
affected
they
by...
go. Yeah, they're wiping now for me, but I don't know if you can
Oh.
see. Maybe you should look at Tim's
Right.
stream then.
by the turbulence. Yeah,
It's not yet in.
yeah, I can apply the bug wipers.
Yeah, but if I switch to your stream, we are losing the sound. So
Oh, okay.
And a question from my local club: will we be able to start to begin the flight to spawn really anywhere in the scenery, or do we have to spawn necessarily on the airfield?
No, you can spawn anywhere in the scenery.
So I can spawn like onto a random mountain, right?
Yes, yep.
Great. That was one of the main complaints I actually heard in Condor 2 from my local club. That's very good to know.
So in the chat here, any idea of the performance impacts if they get stuck on the wing? When they're extended, they affect drag slightly, I think. I'm not sure. Euros programmed that. I don't know everything as well. But of course the bugs will build up and that does affect your performance, I'm sure of that. Well, bugs is about the same drag as real life, so depends on how many you have on the wing.
Approaching.
One question. Does the dongle still work with CU or is it incompatible now?
Does the what work with?
The dongle, the thing you use in Condor 2 to get to use CU. I'm asking for a friend.
I think I saw on Facebook at the SAA convention last Saturday that it worked with Condor 3.
Okay.
So you can use your odious external device as well.
Okay.
But I personally haven't tested that, so I don't know. I think the protocol hasn't changed, the NMEA output.
yeah, it's a standard protocol, so it doesn't need to change. So if you just joined the stream, we are right now flying on Condor 3. 3 is the third version of Condor, which was just released today.
Approaching airspace.
And you are free to join in flight or on Discord. We are on the FAI virtual gliding server.
For a week, Richard here, can you hear me?
Yes.
I'm just wondering, how are the thermals generated on this now?
So there still is a thermal map, but thermal map has more layers to it now. So it also takes into account the terrain shape and the height and everything. And Condor, with the wind direction, the sun position and everything, it generates thermals where you would expect them in real life. So you just have to find out in different wind directions where the thermals are. If it's the sunny side, if it's the wind side, what shape of mountain you need for the thermals to form.
Stand by,
it really
Luca.
depends on the wind and the sun position.
Okay.
So
that's in the mountains, and in flatlands it's a thermal map like it was in Condor 2. But also there's a streeting setting which works a lot better now, so you can actually generate real streets that are meandering, and they are generated with random noise, which is processed in a certain way, which makes the streets take corners, have gaps in them and everything. But if you're flying under a line of clouds, you will have a line of lift.
Interesting. Does the characteristic of the thermal affect the characteristic shape of the cloud?
Yes, it does. The cloud shape, size, and the thermal strength affects how the cloud looks.
Right.
So if you see in the stream, if you look around at the clouds, you see smaller and bigger clouds. And I'm not talking about the clouds that are raining, but the clouds that are in between. They all have different shapes and sizes due to the strength of the thermal underneath. But you just have to find out which ones are the strong ones.
Yeah, if it
It's
looks
probably
like
the healthy looking ones.
if it looks like an angel with wings, it's probably good. So, Wiek, I have a question from Luca. If the flarm works without the XE version?
Yes, flarm works, but you won't have flarm radar on your PDA.
Okay.
Wiek, I have another 2 questions. First of all, where can I find the map of the Slovenia landscape?
Well, it's installed in the scenery, right? Like same as in Condor 2. But also
yeah, but
Chris,
I'd like to have a map like a PNG file, you know?
Yeah, also Chris posted a map on the forum earlier this year of the
Okay, I
extent
will
of
look it up then.
the scenery. But basically, it's from the edge of like Hungary and Croatia a little bit, all the way to about Salamzee and about that area.
Yeah, okay.
Approaching airspace.
So it's quite a sizable bit of northern Italy and Austria. It's even a small bit of Germany to the north. I think we have Unterhausen, which is in Germany. It's maybe just in Austria. I'm not sure.
I was just thinking that if you could download all the glider tracks from a season in real life, and then automatically generate a thermal map.
Well, Condor does a pretty good job if you set the weather settings with the wind direction and everything quite similarly, then it looks pretty much the same if you fly in Condor. Of course, there's some randomness between the clouds and everything, where exactly the thermals are. But in general, the flight paths correlate between real world and Condor.
Stand by, Joris.
Wiek, I have a question going straight really to modding. What's the extension of the sound files?
I think they are WAVs.
Okay, that's great. So that means I can probably import the sounds that I already used in Condor 2, which are mods.
Yep. Yeah, you can.
That's great. Thank you.
I have a question.
The Alex Sim sounds I don't know because they are generated by Alex themselves.
Approaching airspace.
Yeah, but I mean the Vario isn't, right?
No, that's from Condor.
Okay, so air and everything there, it's from Condor. Okay, so have any sounds that were in Condor 2 changed over Condor 3?
Tow planes, the fast sound has been added.
Fast sound?
The FES, FES, so the engine sound
FES,
for
okay. I heard fast.
the engine.
So, Wiek, does the Bluetooth port to XE SAW still work?
Yeah, you can still connect your external PDA like LK8000, XESOR and everything you can connect.
Via Bluetooth?
If it worked in Condor 2, it will also work in Condor 3.
Okay. It's Joris, he wrote if it still works, but I guess it will.
Well, looking at the progress, I think the PC is staying on the night. I really was happy, like, oh wow, it's already done installing, but it was just the gliders, not the scenery.
Yeah, and then it's another file after that.
It's just the sim, right?
Yeah, Alex Sim.
Okay, yeah, okay, that will take short, so good.
Approaching airspace.
Also, are there any plans to add motors to already existing gliders, like a FES or the rest to the JS3, for example?
We might do, but as I said before, I can't comment on any plans for the planes, as
Okay,
other than what it's already been announced.
okay.
We have a lot of plans, but it's the question if we have the time and the resources to do it.
Yes.
Warning, airspace.
Yeah, very nice, Joris.
Warning,
Any questions
airspace.
on
Are
Twitch
doing
or?
some cloud flying, cloud wave flying.
I don't think there will be any wave now because
Warning,
the overdevelopment
airspace.
kills any wave activity. Because you can't have thunderstorms and wave. So the thermal layer extends much further up, so that kills all the wave activity.
So I suppose all the FAI rules about,
Warning,
maximum speed at
airspace.
start and that kind of thing is all built in now, is it?
Yes, it is. We have, let me think. We have a wing loading limit, so you can set up, the task setter can set up a wing loading limit. It's just a slider in the settings. And when people join,
Approaching airspace.
they cannot put their wing loading higher than this limit. So that may exclude some gliders from flying if they don't have the minimum wing loading. But it can also balance out like the JS3 and the Ventus and stuff like that.
Yeah, we did see that in the I don't remember which, but we did see it in the FAI competition where there were a lot of Ventus 3s just for the wing loading.
Yep. So that's built in now, and you cannot physically join the server or the game if you have your wing loading set above it. So it will show as red in the settings. So if you set the wing loading in your glider with the slider for the water ballast, it will be red when you exceed the maximum wing loading. Then we have below that is the maximum start speed. So you can set anything between, I think, 100 and 250 kilometers an hour. And you will get penalty points depending on the settings of 1 to 10 points per kilometer an hour. Over the start line ground speed.
I really do hope that the Chin task setters will actually use this wing loading feature quite a bit. That would put at least a slowdown to the JS3's domination.
Warning, airspace.
Yeah, we also implemented the maximum start height. So if you're above the maximum start height, you may be able to start and get penalty points.
Airspace.
Or you can set it so you don't, you can't start high. But that's mostly for the Grand Prix style races. So if you cross the start line, you all have to start at the same time. If you're a little bit high and you cross the line, you just get penalty points for the height, so you don't have to turn back and cross the line again.
So will we still be able to do the pull-ups inside the finishing sector if there is a minimum height?
It depends. We have a setting for minimum finish height, so you can set it either to not finished or penalty points for finishing low. And then you can't do the pull-ups if it's set to penalty points. You have to enter the sector at the correct height.
But if it's not finished, then we can just do the pull-up.
Yeah.
Okay.
How about staying above the glide slope from reporting point to finishing line?
Sorry, say again?
How about staying above the minimum height in between the reporting point and the finishing line?
You have to do that with the penalty zone. The penalty zone still work in Condor 3, so you have to set that below the final leg then.
Oh,
Yeah, Andreas, it's dangerous to fly in the clouds, especially without an artificial horizon.
Why do you stay in 32 bits? Any idea, Vic?
Sorry, say again. I was answering a question in the chat here.
Okay. We have a question about why we are staying in 32 bits.
Because that's a fundamental change to the game code, so that the engine Condor runs on. Because we made a custom engine for Condor back when Condor 2 was coming out, and this engine is in 32 bits, and it's a very major code change to make it to 64 bits, and that would have delayed the release of Condor by a significant time. So. For now, we just worked on many performance improvements, so many code optimizations in all areas of the code, which means that Condor 2, on a flat screen at least, should run the same as Condor 2 in pretty much all the weather settings. It might be that now in this server, because of all the rain, there's a lot of transparency, and that's killing for frame rate. But if you don't have those big clouds and the rain, the frame rate should be the same or better as in Condor 2.
We also got a question about spectate mode. Do you know if there was any improvement on this side?
Spectate mode, I think, is the same between Condor 1 and Condor 2 and Condor 3. I see people now joining at 2-seaters. Very nice.
Yes.
So I was just for the people watching, I was just explaining how to do the 2-seater joining. There is a video on the website you can watch if you don't want to read the manual. But basically what you do, one of the pilots selects a 2-seater and ticks the 2 pilots box, so there's actually 2 pilots in the plane, and then he waits, and then you go into the multiplayer tab, and then there is a join button next to pilots who are in a 2-seater and available to join.
Yeah, and we tried it out earlier today, Vic, and it works flawlessly.
But does staying on 32 bits for Condor 3 cause, for example, the freezes when it's calculating the weather?
No, that's not. That has nothing to do with that.
Okay, so it shouldn't be limiting.
No.
Okay.
So, Vic, does Condor 2 skins work with Condor 3?
It might. There's a lot of gliders who have had new models made. So, for example, the Antares has a completely new model. The Duodiscus is a completely new model. Can't remember if we made any other planes new.
Cirrus?
The Cirrus has been extensively changed as well, because the wing was in the wrong position, I think.
Yeah, I had made a post about that as well, and yeah, there were many other details that were not put in. Yeah, when I saw the Duodiscus for Condor 3, I actually did notice that it was very similar to the Arcus, much more than it was in Condor 2.
Yeah, but the Arcus and the Duodiscus XL and the Arcus have the same fuselage, so of course I took the fuselage from the Arcus model, and I modified it to be a Duo with new wings and everything. But to answer Tim's question further, several planes have had bug wipers added, so they have been added to the skin. So, for example, the JS3 you're flying, it has bug wiper garages, so the fuselage model was changed, so also the mapping of the skin. So probably skins won't work on that one.
No. Okay. So when they are edited by the authors, it will be possible to download them from Condor Club, I guess.
Yeah, I guess. And but other planes, like most of the school class planes, they have stayed the same. So the skins on those should work. But you have to check with the makers of the skins if they update their skins or not.
Sadly, it looks like I will not have the sim ready for today, as it stopped installing the landscape.
A bit
So I
difficult
guess
today
I'll leave it on in the night.
to have this downloaded. There is so much people downloading.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm really hoping that it's gonna be clearing up in the night.
It's too big a success.
Yeah, we did upgrade the server yesterday to have a bigger bandwidth and everything, but still it wasn't enough, it seems.
Yep.
Yeah, so the best advice is to stay patient and download later.
Download at the middle of the night. It should be better.
Approaching airspace.
I think actually a very optimal time may be to start it up in tomorrow morning, because then Europeans will be just waking up and the Americans will be asleep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
exactly.
going to work, so.
Approaching airspace.
But I will
Work
still try
schools,
to
we
install in the night
spend,
regardless.
can spend the whole day downloading.
Yep. I will still try downloading it in the night regardless. And I will hope and good luck.
So Tim, how are you finding the new flight model and the new weather model?
I'm still trying to adjust to it. It's so turbulent, and you can feel every puff under your wing. But
Realistic?
I think it's very realistic. Compared to Condor 2, this is a step up towards reality. A huge step, I would say.
Also, Wiek, do you know if we can modify the default page of the S10? So like add more nav boxes to it. So like four values instead of 3 being shown.
No, you can only have either the live wind page or this 3 nav boxes page.
And you
I don't
cannot
know
modify the
if we will update the page, so you can have different pages.
And you cannot modify the content of the page or the lines there, like the vario and stuff. The vario is basically like how you guys gave it to us, and no modifying up to now.
Yeah, it's like this.
Okay.
Again, we're a very small team, so we had to make some decisions on what we simulate and what not.
Also, we do not have tow planes available at every airfield doing the flight, right?
No, only at the start airport you have tow planes available, but all airports are fully modeled, so the grass is there and everything. So if you land on them, they look just like a real airport. There's just nobody home.
Okay.
Of course, if you use this mini like FAS, you can take off anywhere.
Nice. By the way, does the Minilab have flaps?
Yes, it does. It has
Okay.
L +2, +1, 0, and -1.
Yeah, I had seen in the FAI stream, they kind of look like the ailerons don't move with the flaps.
Yeah, in the all that's also new. All planes have had their aileron mixes adjusted so they are exactly like they are in real life.
Okay.
So if you look at, for example, the EB29 now, if you pull that in landing flap, you see that it has more landing flap than it had in Condor 2, but that's because Condor 2 had some limitations about how flaps work.
Yeah, I remember.
So we changed I researched all the gliders, I got all the handbooks and all the data sheets and everything, and all the flap settings are modeled to the exact degree in all flap settings, all aileron deflections.
Yeah, I remember when the when the LS3 was released, that there was that you guys, I had read that you guys had to model in a whole new mechanic for that.
But
that
now
must
also,
be
if you have
tricky.
like the duodiscus, the outside of the wing, so the wingtip ailerons only move up; they don't move down.
Oh,
and
they
stuff
did
like
before?
that is also modeled now.
Oh, I had actually never noticed that.
It's to reduce the yaw effect from the ailerons. But planes, for example, the EB29 has a really complicated aileron mix, and just trying to think which planes. I think the ASG29 as well.
Approaching airspace.
Is there any flights planned for tomorrow for Condor3?
I don't know.
Okay.
Probably there will be people hosting service.
Yeah, there will be some free flights for sure. But
Any
I
of you
don't know.
will be here, perhaps?
What we haven't talked about yet, what's also new is the AAT system. So
The what?
the assigned area tasks.
Oh.
They have been implemented in the Condor scoring, so you can fly AATs. Also, the Condor PDA and the LX Sim, they support the AAT task scoring and navigation and everything. There's a whole article in the manual that tells you how to use the Condor PDA for AATs. So you can have fun with that as well. And I don't know, maybe the Chin Chin guys will organize AAT Fridays or something like that.
Do you want to try something, maybe to present the flight planner and something like this? I can give you a link so you can share your screen. Do you want to try this?
Yeah, we can.
Okay, let me a few minutes. I will prepare this.
Okay, and then if anybody has any questions, I can't read the chat because I'm in VR, but maybe you can read the chat, Nico.
Hi Olaf, you just press control.
The FAI one?
Press control.
But yeah, or the stream in Twitch, I can't read it because I'm in VR.
Okay.
There was a question from the virtual clubhouse about how well forward slips are modeled.
You can slip, and the airspeed is affected, and also the sink rate of the glider.
No.
Even the raindrops on the canopy are affected, so they move sideways when you slip. So you can see the effect of the slip and also feel it.
Sounds good.
No,
We've made new yaw strings because the Condor 2 yaw string didn't actually quite show the correct side slip value. So the yaw string is completely new, and if you now kick the rudder pedals, you can see pretty much what you see in real life. But the most fun is to side slip in the rain. That looks really cool.
Yeah, your string looks good.
So in the FAI chat, we have Soaring Pilatus asking that if his question about pausing flights and continuing them later was answered. I guess he means like saving the flight, closing the sim, and then going back on the flight later.
No, you can't, and that's the reason for that is the competition element in Condor. So you can't save a flight in real life, so you can't save a flight in Condor either. I know it's a requested feature, and I don't know if it ever will be implemented, but at the moment, it's not.
No, that's an old feature, Ezekiel. You can switch it
Yeah,
on
I
and
guess
off.
for it to really work, all we would need, I think, is just for in the file to be written that the flight was saved, then stopped.
By pressing alpha.
And if that is and if that happens, like Condor Club does not score it.
Well, I don't know if it's also limitations in the weather modeling and stuff like that, because the weather evolves, of course, during the day. And if you start it at a different time, then maybe the weather doesn't correlate anymore. But I'm not sure how that works. That's all Condor internal stuff, and that's only yours knows about that.
Well, I mean, I think with saving, he means like every single aspect of the flight. So I guess he also means that the weather will be the very same.
Yeah, I understand, but I don't know if it's technically possible, or
okay.
It probably is, but I don't know how complicated it is.
Okay. Also, is Condor Club actually like managed by the Condor team?
No, it's not.
Okay, so it's completely separate.
Yes.
Okay.
We do work together with several partners, of course, like Condor Club, but we don't affiliate ourselves as Condor team with them.
Yeah, I see on Tim's chat someone is asking, someone is pointing out that the stall looks more realistic, and also the spins.
Yeah.
Wiek, anything that was done about that as well?
Well, the 3D wind factors probably has to do with that. Sorry, I'm just getting ready to cast my screen. Just one sec.
Okay. On Discord, or is it on YouTube, Twitch, or something?
Yeah, well, hang on.
Approaching airspace.
So when are you guys planning on hopping off?
speed again. Sorry, I'm back. Yeah.
I got something, but right now I have nothing. Did you select the correct screen? Yeah, now I got it. Into me.
Okay, so we're just setting up the screen sharing for the people at home, so I can show you some stuff about the flight planner.
No.
And Seb will let me know when it's
Yeah.
live.
You are live.
Okay, good. So you see here the flight planner, and I maximized it. So at the top here, you can maximize the screen now, so you have more overview of the whole scenery. And the new features we have, you can see the airspace lines, and if you go into the menu, airspace, you can have a button here to enable all, or also disable all. This function, the all restricted dangerous, that will turn off certain airspaces which are NOTAM activated only.
This is a feature available only to the guy who makes the FPL, or
Yes,
everyone?
this is only available to when you make the FPL. What else you can do? You can have the settings to. This is always available, so you can turn off airport stern points and the airspace view. And if you make a task, here is the new button, and what's new in Condor 3 is this weather zone thing. So if you do it like this, and then you just draw on the map the weather zone, and then you can, in this area, you can move it around, and you can also change the settings of the weather zone, either by going properties. You can assign the weather, and here you can also say which direction and the speed of the movement. So if I set it up like 90 degrees, that's it. So 90 degrees with 10 kph.
I don't know, Adrian.
So if I animate it now, then you see it moves, and you can see the time that when it will arrive over the task.
Hopefully during the night or tomorrow.
Wiek, can you show me a little bit more south in the map? I'm curious if you guys added in a certain view.
Yeah, there you go, south on the map. But what I wanted to show is if you place these corners here in the gray area, like that, and you say, and you let it move then, you see that the corners stay attached to the edge. So that's how you make a weather zone that goes all the way to the edge and doesn't move on the edge. So it's just for the task setters.
Is there a limit to how big the weather zone can be?
No, it can be as big as you like. It can be the whole scenery if you want.
Nice. Also, can you spawn up, like, if you want, like if you spawned at my home airfield, just take a look at it?
No, I'm just showing the GUI now.
Okay.
So if you want to disable individual airspaces, you can see here the airspaces all at the cursor, where I clicked on the map, and you can disable individual airspaces you like. What else? Here we have the AAT option. I'll just load up a different flight plan. So here you see an AAT task. See the AAT box here is ticked, and you have here the task time.
Airspace.
And the sectors you see it a lot bigger. But now, if you want to plan the task, and it works in multiplayer or in single player, if you hold shift, you can move the turn point in the sector. So if you take it, and then you see the distance here at the bottom of the screen change, and you can plan your task the way you want it. So now I have planned 145 kilometers. So then that's how you try to get your average speed correctly planned in the task. So you can move any sector. You can also later in the sim move the points as well.
So for example, on an online server, if in another test, they will give us a sector. Can we move the line there that we want to follow on our
Yeah,
own?
yeah. What I just showed, you can plan your task the way you want it, like
Okay,
this.
so that is not locked. That is nice.
So hold shift, and then you can move your individual turn points around, and it gets saved to your personal PDA.
Okay. Also, about the airspace, can you show us the drop-down menu that it was there for like enable, disable, and everything?
Yeah, there you go. Enable all, disable all, and then you have the individual airspace if you want to disable a certain airspace. So if I want to see the TMA from Klagenfurt, now it's disabled here. Maybe it's better if I show like this airspace. I think it's that one. See, now it's grayed out. But that disables the individual airspaces. And if you go in the weather tab, of course, this is the wind. That nothing has changed here. What's changed in the thermal tab is you have the option to set the bugs. So if there's bug accumulation on the wings, and we also have this variation thing. So this is the activity, and you can set the activity variation to a different value, which means that you get blue areas in the flatlands. And this is the setting for the rain. So if you have the gray cloud, then you have a chance of rain showers. Now the wave type is still the same, and this is also still the same. And here at the top, you can change the weather for the base zone and the different weather zones you have set. So you can set completely different set of weather in the weather zones. Now I'll show you here. This is what I set the wing loading limit. So if I set it to a lower value, like 48, which is I think the standard value for the FAI rules, and I go to the hangar and take a different plane. For the JS3. You see now here the wing loading is green down here.
Yeah, hold on a second. I am waiting for the delay from the stream.
Yeah, and if I increase it, then it becomes red at a certain point.
Oh yeah, I see.
And here's the other penalty options. So you have the start speed penalty. You see the high start is now set at not started. Or you can have penalty points for high starts. And you also have to start the low finish. You can set to not finished or have penalty points for finishing low.
Yeah,
No.
difficult.
And same
They
for
are-
airspace entry. You can have penalty points or an outlanding.
They are not constant. They are more
So I also
like
saw
real life.
that in the weather page there is a drop-down menu for the weather zone. Is it basically how the weather zone is set?
Yes, it's a difference with the base zone. And now with the weather zone, you see there's more wind, there's more high clouds, and the thermals are different.
I don't know, Luca.
Base is to set the weather outside of the weather zone, and
Yeah, base is the general weather in the whole area, and the base, the weather zone modifies it.
okay, how many weather zones can we have again?
7. So you have the base
7.
plus 7.
Okay.
Yes, Seb, I don't know if you want to go back to the stream. I think this is all the things in the flight planner.
Can you check again the NOTAM side tab? I think the NOTAM, the last one.
Yeah, NOTAM?
Yeah. So you explained everything, and yeah, we just talk about the start speed limit.
Yeah, so yes, the maximum start ground speed, and you also have the penalty point per kilometer an hour here. So here's the ground speed, and here's the penalty per kilometer an hour.
And you also have the high start penalty point. Okay.
I also see that the allow PDA option is disabled, Why?
Yes, because I set AAT task, and for an AAT task you need the PDA. So if you have an AAT task, you can't disable the PDA.
If it's a turn-point task, normal turn-point task, you can disable it.
Yeah, so now I turned it off, see, then AAT is off. And then you can disable the PDA.
Okay. So on the FAI chat, I see that Beeks is asking, is there also a femoral rhythm integrated like in real life? I'm not sure what he means by femoral rhythm.
No, I'm not sure either what that means. Maybe you can explain?
Is there something else in the main menu of Condor to share, or maybe you can share the way how to jump into the two-seaters?
Yeah, I can show it, but let's see. I need to join the multiplayer server. I need.
So I'm going back to the 3D view when you.
Yeah.
The time
I'll just join the multiplayer server. It's done by. Are you in the view?
No, you are out of view. Yeah.
I see that Beeks, he's also asking, is a damage model integrated, lightning strike possible, and that fittings can break?
Lightning strikes don't hit your plane. Of course, the damage model is the same as Condor 2, but we make a flying simulator, not a crashing simulator. So it's not that your winglet can break off or stuff like that.
He's also asking if Condor updater. So he's definitely asking about the one made by Condor Club, if there is a different version for the 2 and the 3, or if it's the same.
Yes, there will be a new version for Condor 3.
Okay.
Again, the Condor updater is managed by Condor Club, which is separated from Condor team.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's explained a little bit further what he meant with a thermal rhythm. What he said is, when a thermal starts, normally it restarts a new thermal at that same spot, often 5-6 minutes later. So could I wait now for the next thermal at the same spot?
Yeah, you have to find out. It works pretty much the same as in real life. If a spot triggers a thermal, it will trigger thermals more often.
So do we have rock implemented, like it's more likely to start a thermal because it heats up more and stuff like that?
It depends on the thermal map.
Okay.
So Seb, I've got the screen up here again.
Okay. We can see your screen now.
Okay, so here we are in the multiplayer tab, and you can see all the people that are connected to the server and are flying. So you see here the Charlie Sierra Alpha, they already are flying multi-crew. So if you want somebody to join you, you have to go to the hangar tab, select the two-seater. So I'll take the DG1000 for example. And then I'll set it to 2 pilots. And then somebody who joins the server will see a join button in the rear pilot seat now. Or if I set myself to be in the rear seat, they will see the join button in the front seat. If somebody joins now, they can click on it, and then I'll get a pop-up showing that somebody's asking me to join my seat, my front seat or my back seat. So I don't know if anybody's entering the server now who wants to do that. And if that's the case, then you're connected, and then you can, of course, review the weather settings and everything together. You get an open voice connection with each other, so you can talk to each other in the screen here. And then the pilot who did not join, so the pilot who was first has to click the start flight button, and then you both entered flight, and then you can fly together. The pilot who is in command, so in this case it would be me if somebody else joins me, I can give the other pilot control. So he cannot take control, I can only give control and take control back in that case.
So with also this thing for open voice, so between the two pilots, do we also have a push to talk, right?
There's no push to talk in the multi-crew. There is push to talk for the radio.
Okay.
There's no push to talk in a real glider either.
Okay.
Only for the radio, of course.
But can we disable the microphone?
Yes, you can. You just need to turn the volume setting all the way down on in the settings.
No, I mean, like, can we mid-flight, just out of the blue, deny our microphone from sending audio?
No, only in Windows, I guess.
Okay, so you have to disable the microphone in Windows. Okay. What happens if we were, for example, to shut down the microphone? Can we then just boot it back up and it works, or?
I don't know. I haven't tried.
Okay.
I need to jump into the DG 1000 of Wiek. Anyone online?
I can push start flight, but I'm in VR and don't have mirror rendering on, so
Okay.
I have to put off my headset so I can't hear you guys anymore.
But that's inconvenient.
That was because I was talking.
Yeah, I think
Approaching airspace.
Oh, that's once again
Okay.
suboptimal.
It's due to the screen sharing.
I just don't know
Taking a lot
how.
of resources.
What are you guys using for screen sharing?
Sorry, can you say it again?
What are you using for screen sharing there?
It's Vimeo.ninja. It's just a web application.
Okay. I think it would maybe be possible to use Discord's screen share.
Yeah. Discord is not so nice in terms of quality.
Okay, it's capped here. Okay.
Yeah. So I'm impressed by the quality here. So we are with you, Wiek. Can you hear us? We can't hear you, Wiek.
No,
Wiek,
sorry,
try to
Andreas. I think I should have switched it in the Condor settings before joining.
Yeah, no, we cannot hear you.
Only see is cockpit inside.
Just looking at Wiek's screen in Twitch.
Is the flarm working here? So question on the chat. Just your microphone. If you can hear us, you can type. maybe. Tell us. Yes, okay. So Discord lost your microphone. Maybe due to two-seaters. I don't know.
Yeah, I do have a question for you, Wiek. Whenever you can enable your microphone, do so.
You can ask your question. You will have time to answer, to think about it before answering.
Okay, okay. So I am seeing here on the DG1000, I don't know if it's the same in the front seat or not. We do not have the S10, we have the classic Vario. Why is that?
Going outside, and I'm sure you will replace soon.
So maybe you can hear me now again?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, the problem is I can't have my VR headset on when I'm sharing the screen.
Yeah.
So then the microphone doesn't work. Yeah, so all the school class gliders have the classic instruments, and all the modern gliders have the S instrument, S or the V.
So with modern gliders, what are we talking about? Anything that is in school class?
Airspace.
Yes.
Okay, so also the
And no, the club, some of the club class, not all.
Okay. But gliders like, I guess, the ASW20, maybe the Pegasus, do have the S10, right?
I can't remember what I put in what. Seb, maybe you can switch away, then I'll set up mirror rendering, and I can keep my VR headset on.
You are away now.
Okay.
One thing I'm sure about is that the LS3 has the S10. I mean, it has the panel itself, like, integrated.
You can shut down the web page if you want. So you will stop sharing. Wiek? No.
Yeah, sorry.
You can switch, turn off the web page for video.ninja, so
Yeah,
you
okay.
can. Yeah. So we are live on Condor 3, the new version of Condor, which was just released today. And you can join the server. It's FAI virtual gliding unboxing Condor 3. So it's a Condor server, and you can also join the Discord server. I put on Discord the link to the Discord server if you want. Sorry, on Twitch, the link to Discord server. We have back Wiek. Yes, Wiek is on the runway.
Yeah, I'm in my own glider.
S3A.
Yeah, I own this one in real life, and this livery as well.
Did you make this glider yourself?
Yes, I did.
Ah, that explains it.
Yeah, I own an LS3 17, so it's this model.
Okay. Yeah, didn't really make any sense though to model in the 17 meter. So you also have on the real glider the nose hook?
Yes.
Nice. Yeah, I've never seen a LS3 with a nose hook in my life.
So any more questions from the chat or?
Yeah.
There is one.
I have a few questions, Wiek.
Yeah, go ahead.
So Luca asks if there are any official Condor Discord servers.
We have the FAI one we're on now, so you can join that. And various competitions have their own Discord servers. But there's nothing from the Condor itself, like our developers or something.
No, but how do you join the FAI Discord server?
Seb?
So on Twitch, I just put a link to the Discord server. If you want to join, I can put it again maybe.
So Luca, go to Twitch,
right now.
search for FAI.
So do not hesitate to join the Discord server. We put some information, and right now you can ask any question to Wiek. Some question he will not answer because it's a secret, it's confidential. But some other he will be very happy to answer.
And then Anders asks how the VR is, and I'm not the right person. Could you...
Yeah, VR works the same as in Condor 2. So if you have an Oculus or a Meta headset, it just works out of the box. If you have the other headsets, they work with Revive and the various apps. I'm not sure about that. Yeah, but the cockpits look a lot more alive now because we made new shadows. So the shadows are much darker in the further you go down into the footwell and stuff like that. And it's really nice when you're in the sun and thermaling and see the shadows move across the plane. So it looks even more 3D than it did in Condor 2.
Yeah, okay, Sander, I'll test out Wiek's flarm.
I hope that answers the question enough, but the best thing to do is experience it for yourself.
Yeah, it's much more immersive than a flat screen, I would say.
Any more questions from the chat? Or?
Yeah, we have a comment, not a question, that the shadows and the graphics looks super. Well done, Euros.
Yeah, and also the whole planes team and the whole landscape team. I think it's not just Euros. It's we've got about 25 people working in various parts of from modeling to texturing to testing and coding. So I'm just answering a question in the chat here.
We have someone in Tim's chat asking Tim to make your flarm go crazy.
Yeah, I'm about to.
This is now CTX Simulator.
I'm getting attacked from behind, my farm says. So the flarm in the game is working the same as the real flarm. So it's the actual software that flarm technology also uses in their devices, and Condor just simulates a GPS signal. So the flarm works exactly as it would do in real life.
So will we be tortured when in a thermal with a lot of other people?
It depends. If you fly nicely, then it shouldn't go off.
Okay, so we will be tortured when funneling with CTX. Got it.
Well, yeah, I experienced it earlier. So when somebody is joining the thermal, the flarm goes off. But if you are behaving nice in the thermal and opposite, there's no warnings.
Yeah, I can confirm that from real life experience.
It depends also how you join the thermal.
Question about flarm: is it available in standard version or only in XC Pro Condor version?
No, flarm always works. So the warning and the instrument, but to get flarm radar, so to see the climb rate and the position of other gliders in the PDA, you need XC.
We have someone in Tim's chat asking if the sceneries and planes that were bought for Condor 2 are compatible with Condor 3.
The planes are all improved, so all the planes that are in Condor 2 are also in Condor 3. And if you have a key for a plane in Condor 2, that same key will unlock the same plane in Condor 3. So you will have all the planes you had in Condor 2 just improved and made ready for Condor 3. Landscapes depends on the landscape. If the landscape is made properly in Condor 2, so with every airport with 3D model and grass surface and stuff, then they will work in Condor 3 as well. But if the scenery is not made properly, then the conversion needs to be done by the landscape author. Yeah. But to use a scenery, Condor Club will have some utilities that help you convert sceneries to Condor 3. It's only the standard version, so will not have the houses, it will not have power lines and stuff like that.
We have a question about Steam and Condor 3. Why it's not released on Steam? It will also reach more people for that matter.
Because Steam takes a lot of money just to be on Steam, and for our niche product, it's not worth it. But I don't go over the marketing. I think that's what Chris said in some forum post. I don't know. Chris is the marketing department. So that's OXO.
So are you guys gonna be here flying tomorrow perhaps?
Well, I think Wiek is going to work and me as well. But maybe in the evening.
Okay. By the way, was there a Chin-Chin task today?
Yeah, but it was in Condor 2.
Okay.
Question about the building of new glider. Does it will continue as it is?
Yeah, we will try to release gliders in the near future. And I can't say anything about a timeline, but there will be gliders coming.
Do you know when the Condor shop will be online again? Because right now it's not working.
Yeah, it depends when the server load gets acceptable again. Then the shop will be back online. But that's Chris. I'm not managing the shop.
Okay guys, so it's now 11 p.m. European time. I have school tomorrow, so it's time I go. I hope to see you tomorrow evening, hopefully with Condor installed, and perhaps we'll fly. See you.
Yeah, good night.
Ciao, Nicola.
Yeah, good night and good day to everyone. See you.
So maybe we can take one or more questions before closing the stream.
Good
Do
evening,
you have...
guys. J.Albert here. Finally, I had some trouble to download the Condor3, so maybe my first flight won't be tonight, but maybe tomorrow. I don't know if some question have been asked about flight instruction in Condor3. I know that there is a dual command available when a dual seater, but is there a solution to restart a flight in a same configuration many times without going back in the menu? I'm thinking about trying the final again and again.
Yes, we have. You can air start from any location in the scenery, so also on final.
Airspace.
Anything 50 meters and up. And you can put it on a long final, short final, whatever you like. And if you land in offline, you can restart indefinitely, even if you crash.
Okay, and you don't have to go back, restart the server, or rejoin the server.
No, just hit escape, restart, and you're back in the air at the position you were.
With the same copilot as you decide initially.
No, that's multi-crew is only in multiplayer. So this is a single player. So there's no multi-crew in single player.
Yeah, that's what I was asking. If I am an instructor and I want to fly with students, and we will try the final, in multiplayer I have to create a server, start the flight. He joined me in my plane. We try the final. To start again.
Yeah, you can restart as per the FAI rules. You can restart 3 times, so you have 3 landings basically.
Okay.
Before you need to restart the server or restart the flight, re-enter.
And if I have a force feedback joystick, will I feel his movements on the stick?
No, you can see them in the sim, but you won't feel them on your joystick.
Okay.
You can see all the controls move the way the pilot, the other pilot does it. Tim and I flew multi-crew earlier, so maybe Tim can say something about it.
Yeah, what was the question?
The question was if I am flying with a force feedback joystick, will I feel the other pilot's movement? But the answer is no. But you can see the stick moving. So as I am an instructor in the back seat, I will have to take care to be careful on the stick movement to do some flight instruction in Condor3.
Yeah, you can see every movement of the student.
The physical joystick, just on the virtual joystick, you can't see it.
No, not on your real joystick, only in the virtual joystick. Yes.
Is there a way to see all skins from all flying pilots in race, or is it still the download need first to catch all the glider skins first?
Yeah, you have to download them because otherwise the server has to send the quite large files everywhere. So if you have 64 people in a server, it has to send 64 skins to everybody, or 63 skins technically.
So it's
That's
the
a
same
lot of
behavior
bandwidth and a lot of data, which a lot of servers don't have.
So it's the same behavior than Condor2.
Yes.
Another question is, will the LS3 have LX 9070?
No, none of the club gliders have it.
Will you be able to add it to a club glider, like customized cockpits?
You can move the instruments, not the flight computer.
So how is flying your LS3, Wiek?
Yeah, it feels the same.
Can you try something like stall?
Yeah, sure.
We are watching you. Something strange about the line. Yo.
I didn't correct anything, I just let it drop.
S3 is a safe glider?
Yeah, it's very forgiving, like all the LS gliders, basically.
Jean-David, you have a glider also?
In real life, yeah, I have a standard Cyrus.
So what are the new glider in Condor 3? Do you have the list in mind?
Yes, it's the Duodiscus FES, so the FES with that's a sustainer, so you can keep altitude. And we have the mini lac FES, so it's 13.5 meter class glider with the FES engine as well, and it's a self launcher.
Hi, Brian. Yeah, I can try.
Mechanical variometer be dampened.
What's with the mechanical variometer?
Sorry, I don't understand the question. Maybe
No.
my English is not so good.
Maurice, it's
I think it's
the JS3.
some average to add or... So maybe if you are talking about what you see on the screen,
airspace.
right now the variometer is instantaneous variometer. It's just in the spectate mode, but inside the glider you have something more realistic than like you have in real life.
Yeah, I can share my screen. I'm in VR now, but I have the screen sharing on, so I have the mirror rendering on. So if you want, if you send me an OBS Ninja link,
Can you try again? Yeah.
I can show you the real vario.
Approaching
Same link?
airspace.
Yeah, same link. Someone wants to have some advice from the first flight of this few pilot here in this flight.
So I think I have it sent to you now.
Yeah, we can see. You can see live inside your glider.
You can see the mechanical vario dancing around.
Yeah.
And I have the hawk option enabled now, which is an XC, which is the blue needle on the electric variometer, which is showing a lot calmer indication, which is really nice in this turbulent weather today. It's in the correct flap setting, of course.
So the screen capture is not so smooth, but I think we can see some behavior.
I'm trying to keep my head a bit still, but
Yeah.
Yes, Jan.
so this is a view in VR, so I can like look out at the wing and see if there's any bugs on it.
I'll do a spin in the valley here, and then I'll
So the
enter
question
the
about
rain.
the variometer was about integration. Is it possible to have some integration because it's too bursty?
You can set the time constant in the settings if that's what you mean. You can set it to react slower. You can set it between like half a second and 3 seconds, I think.
So it's for mechanical variometer?
Yeah, the mechanical and also the electrical. What I have is I have the mechanical set to really fast and the electric one a little bit slower. And then the hawk compensation helps a lot as well. It filters out all the gusts. So that's why I recommend buying the XC version. There's some nice features in there which really help with the new weather model and everything. But of course, it's not necessary if you don't have it in real life. You don't really need it. You can also learn to fly without. But
is the force feedback to Sidewinder stick still supported with force feedback?
yeah, it's the same as Condor 2, so that should work.
We have a few more questions. Is it possible to change the variometer zone from standard vario to the Hawk, the blue needle?
Yes, if you in the settings, in the sound settings, you can turn on the Hawk audio, so that changes your sound of the vario to the blue, from the red needle to, or the orange needle to the blue needle. And that only works if you have the XE version of Condor, of course.
Because Hawk is only available on the XE version.
In XE, yes. So you only get the blue needle when you bought XE.
Yeah, I'll try that spin later. It didn't work out.
Another question: Autopilot can operate in offline mode?
No, Autopilot doesn't work in offline mode. It's just a pause button.
I don't think it was really a spin, but it was scary. I'll show the bug wipers and then fly into some rain. Need to gain some altitude.
Hey. So VR looks nice.
Yeah, it's really nice. You can look underneath the panel and you see all the internals and everything. But now the shadow is really dark down there, so it's quite dark. And you can look all the way behind you, of course, see where the other gliders are, in the clouds above you, behind you.
Nice.
But with the mirror rendering on, it's quite a bit of strain on the computer, especially with the streaming now. But I think you get a good glimpse of what it's like.
Yeah, it's nice. So here on Discord, some of you did not have the time to download Condor3 yet. Do you have any comment on what you are seeing, or?
Yeah, sure. So we're flying above Les Cablet, which is the home airport of the creator of Condor. It's Euros. As you can see, there's a lot of buildings in the scenery now. Let's see if I turn a little bit. There's a bridge, for example, and a dam. That's a custom modeled objects that are in the scenery. And down there along the motorway, there's also a bridge, custom model airports. with the new clouds here ahead of us, with all the rain showers and the lightning and thunder. Of course, not all clouds are like that. We set up the server to show off the new features. So new cloud models. So you can see all the clouds back there, the different sizes, different shapes. That depends on the thermal strength and everything. Yeah, and if you look, just try to find the thermal now. You can see that you actually have to steer against all the turbulence and the gusts the thermals generate. We'll just fly to this cloud. There should be a thermal there. Get down a little bit.
Later you can go to the rain to share what
I wouldn't do that now because that will probably kill all the frame rate, because I'm rendering everything 3 times now due to the streaming.
We got a question earlier about the performance of Condor. I think Condor is running on medium size computer. Do not require so much high performance computer, but when you try to have every parameter at the maximum with VR and so on, for sure it requires a bigger computer than normal. But it's running nicely on my computer, which is not so recent.
So here you can see how turbulent the thermal actually is.
Approaching airspace.
How do you interact with the computer on the plane?
With the flight computer? So we try to simulate the behavior of the LX stick in the planes. So you have the numpad, which the 2, the 4, the 6 and the 8 are the buttons that are the little thumb switch on the LX stick. So you go up and down, left and right, and that does the switch through pages. So if I go up and down, that switches through the pages. And if I go left and right, that zooms in and out.
Okay. Earlier I saw like the flight computer in a different window where you can interact with it. Is that also possible, or?
Yes, but no, only in selected gliders.
Okay.
So this is the standard PDA, the standard flight computer that comes with Condor. And several planes have the simulation of the LX9070, which is the LX-nav flight computer. But that's not. This is a club class plane, and it doesn't have that flight computer.
They have the DS3. It probably has the LX, right?
Yes, it does.
Okay. Perfect. So
that's the, and then you have the buttons 7 and 9 on the numpad. Then you can switch off the background map and the airspace.
Okay. Can you put the screen that you have from the LX? Can you put that on your second monitor, or do you have it on the main monitor?
No, you can drag it to a second monitor.
Okay, perfect.
And then you can also interact with it with the mouse, so you can use all the controls like you would with your fingers.
Nice. You could probably use a tablet as a second monitor and then have it on a tablet.
No, because it runs in Windows and it needs to send the screen to Condor, so it needs to be on the same computer on a second monitor.
And how the Condor team is feeling today as it is release date?
We've been working really hard the last couple of weeks just to get everything ready. We had some champagne before.
Airspace.
Yeah, it's but quite nerve-wracking. But it's nice to finally have it out. It's just a bit of a shame that not everybody has been able to download it yet. But we'll try our best over the next couple of days to get everybody their copy.
And does the release date seem that you will have more work in the future days, or it will be a little more calm?
No, of course we have things we want to add, which we couldn't add yet. We have planes to make, so my to-do list is far from empty.
Anything which is not working as expected, please report it on the Condor throwing forum, so it will be taken into account.
Yeah, we've been testing very hard the last couple of weeks, and also of course over the last years when we were still in the alpha phase. But it's been extensively tested, but we might not have caught all the bugs. So please report and we'll patch as soon as possible.
Do you see more questions on the Twitch chat? We lost Jean-David.
Only Mr. Scorpio that took a subscription to our Twitch channel for the 9 months.
There is some question a bit earlier about the landscape building. All the village and so on are generic village, or is it still handmade, or do you have something else?
The buildings you see down here, so I'm looking down here, that's all generic, and that's automatically generated. There is a Blender plugin that I wrote, which downloads all this data from OpenStreetMaps, and it generates the buildings, and that's all automated. So if a scenery creator wants to have buildings in his or her scenery, then they need to use the tool, and it takes a couple of hours to a couple of days, depending on the size of the scenery, to generate all the buildings. And then they're in the scenery, and in Slovenia 3, we have several landmarks custom modeled, included in within the scenery. So it's special buildings, power stations, towers, and stuff like that, castles. And of course, all the power lines, they are also automatically generated, but they require some manual work.
Hey, we can see rain on your canopy.
Yeah, I don't know how the frame rate is, but
yeah, not so.
Yeah, don't fly here in real life, kids. But you can see the drops over the canopy.
Yeah. Thank you for the demo. Only made by professionals. Okay.
Now I'm side slipping. You can see the drops also going sideways.
And the yaw string is working very good.
Yeah, that has been improved as well over Condor 2, the yaw string.
So a question about rain and even hail possible in the cloud?
Yeah, you can fly in the cloud, but I don't have a horizon in this plane, so I won't fly into the clouds now.
Yeah, but you have rain, so we can see it right now. But when you are inside the cloud, you can have also rain?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I haven't tried, actually. But I think the rain goes up into the clouds.
Yeah. And do we have hail? No.
No.
No, not yet.
0.5.
A question about thermal helper on PA. Can you share it? Oh, it looks like the same
the what?
as thermal helper.
This PDA doesn't have a thermal. You only have the thermal screen, so it zooms in automatically, and it will show you with the track will show you the vertical speed.
1.8.
Do we have any Condor 3 events in public plan? So I don't think the Condor team is managing this, but I'm sure that the different community will have some Condor 3 events soon.
Yeah, I think several competitions will start using Condor 3 soon.
Yeah.
I know my own competition will use Condor 3.
It's when?
We have a practice day on Thursday planned.
Oh, nice.
So you see there next to PKM, there is one of the landmark buildings. It's the Crutch or something like that. It's a communication tower.
Yes, Ezekiel, same specs.
So you can see the buildings are drawn out much further than they were in Condor 2. So landmarks are actually points you can navigate to by sight.
And I know my question is about third-party software, but does J.Albert is working with Condor 3?
It's in development. It should be finished soon. So
yeah.
Okay.
If you are disconnected during a flight, is it possible to reconnect?
No, it's not. It's the same system as Condor 2.
I think we have a question from Tim. Is the simulator more stable than Condor 2?
We did a lot of performance optimization from Condor 2 to Condor 3. So we hope yes.
At least my Condor inspected mode is running since more than 2 hours right now and no crash at all.
Yeah, I've done several long flights. It's we changed the way all the buildings and the airports are loaded into the sim and everything. So that was we think was a source of some of the crashes in Condor 2. But of course, only time will tell because we can only test so much with our small team. But of course, if there are issues, we will look at them.
Okay. I think also that there is a new grass material on the airport.
Yes. But I'm not very near to an airport now to show you. We have, at least in Condor, in Slovenia 3, all the airports have 3D grass. So it's much easier to judge the height for your landings. Here you see, down here is a ski lift. You see the red cable cars down there. And there's also ski lifts on the hill there. And there's is one of the custom buildings. I don't know which modeler made that one. I think it was Lubosch who made that one. You just fly a little bit lower, and you can see here the ski lifts. So don't fly lower around the corner where you might hit some cables or something. Because all these things, there's another ski lift there. All these things are collidable, so you can collide with cables on power lines, on ski lifts, and stuff like that.
No Linux, not yet.
And does it depend on the graphic setting?
No, it does not. Only the draw distance is affected by the graphic settings, but they will be there for everybody, same as the trees.
Oh, really?
I know in Condor,
yeah.
in Condor 2, everybody would turn their trees down so they could go over hills lower. But if you do that now, you just make them disappear earlier. But they will still be the same density when close at close range.
Still a limit of 40 pilot maximum per server, or is there is no limit?
You can set your server to unlimited, but you could do that in Condor 2 as well. But I know some servers limited the players to 40 because otherwise the towing process would take too long. But
the risk of
we've had Condor 2 servers with over 120 people in them using Airstar.
Yeah, on Eurobattle we had 110 one day on one server, and it worked flawlessly.
Yeah, I had my top score was 128, I think,
wow.
during COVID. But the version 3 servers do need a little bit more bandwidth though, because we have the voice service running as well.
No,
so for multi-crew and for the radio to work in, it needs a little bit more bandwidth to send the voice comms.
Moritz, it's not included. I guess it will come later. The Yanta is Condor 1 plane, and maybe they need to modify it. So, Wiek, a question?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, some people are asking for the Yanta 3 standard from Condor 1. Will it be available in Condor 3?
As I said before the stream, I can't comment on any planes that may or may not be in development.
No.
So if you look on the forum, if it's been announced or is work in progress.
Yeah, thanks.
You will be able to join an airfield now?
Yeah, I think the closest is Sostaň, Velně. That's just have to navigate a little bit. So I've tested the scenery a lot, but I still sometimes can't find the correct routes to some places. But then I kind of don't want to fly there because there's a really nice landmark there, which is nice to discover for yourself. And then flying in the lee of these mountains down here, so it's going to be a challenge to cross that gap ahead, I guess.
Moritz, I hope you heard Wiek's answer.
Especially with wet wings. So here you can see flying between thermals behind ridges is a bad idea.
I don't think it will be enough. Oh, maybe.
No, we're gonna be okay, I think. We have enough speed. Unless the sync gets really bad here, which it does.
Like this at home.
No.
You can. Well done. Past this one.
Yeah, maybe we can catch the thermal of this cloud up here. Nope.
Good comment about the cloud.
Yeah.
Shape. Yeah.
What's about the cloud?
We have a comment about that they are looking nice. A question about the weather. Can the weather change completely in different area of the scenario?
Yes.
Wind directions and speed, stability, clouds.
Yes, it's completely customizable. You can have 7 different weather zones which can all independently move and overlap and join, and so you can completely customize the weather, make areas completely blue, make areas overdeveloped, overcast, with high clouds and everything in between.
All packed together here at the airport, but maybe later take a look at the parking of PKM, Philipp Kapfahrer and Uwe. They are stuck in the ground. Might be a glitch.
But it. Oh.
Oh. He re-emerged from the ground.
Yep.
Very nice.
And maybe the ping, the frame rate.
Yeah.
Or the ping, yeah.
Planes were also under the ground.
So I will try to reach Sostagne airport there, and then I think I'll call it a night as well, because it's getting late.
Yeah, me as well.
So if you have any last minute questions, feel free to ask.
You can come to the Discord to ask your question.
So Brian asks if the J.Albert is still in use for a dedicated server.
Yes.
The J.Albert will be still useful, yeah.
There will be a new version for Condor3, of course.
Yeah.
So we have a question from Donna Pierre about FES, and do you know if Wiek, if the usage of the energy consumed written in the IGC file. This will
I
allow
think it's the same as using fuel, so I'm not sure how it's written.
So I'm not sure it will be yet possible to have e-glide competition, because for this type of competition we have some amount of energy available, and the consumption of energy is written in the IGC file. So,
Yeah,
maybe-
I don't know if that's written. I really don't know. That's a better question to ask to Cherry, I guess.
Sorry?
Cherry from Condor Club. So
yeah, but yeah, I need to have a look to the file, IGC file. But in the FTR, maybe there is more information.
there's a really nice landmark here from Jan Whiskey who made it. Maybe you can see it there behind the hill already. We'll fly via that to the airport.
Is ULTO also possible? One tow plane and 2 gliders in the back.
No, double tow is not possible.
Yes, Don Pierre, I think managing e-glide competition can be a good thing in Condor to learn how to use it, and I'm sure you who own an FES glider, you will be happy to have this type of competition.
Yes, Moritz, the radio is working.
Power plant.
Yes, indeed.
And also, if you join a 2-seater multiplayer,
well, if you search the scenery, there's stuff like this everywhere.
You can speak via Condor. No need
and you
for.
Go inside the tower.
No
we can
need,
have a look inside the tower. Yes.
No need for Discord or TeamSpeak.
Nice shadows.
There you go.
Yeah.
And then here's the airport.
Yeah, I'll say bye for now. Good night, and nice flying with you today, Wiek.
Okay, so the default scenario is Slovenia 3.
Yes.
Which is the default with Condor 3, and for sure new one will appear soon.
So it looks like the windsock, we need to land on runway 15.
A question about upcoming glider. Will there be a GS3 RES?
I can't comment on anything that hasn't been announced, like I said before.
Sorry. Okay, so you are landing, Wiek. And I think it will be the end of this live session unboxing of Condor 3. Oh.
Oh. Yeah. Too much crosswind for this glider.
Yeah, and a bit of lag, I think, due to the 3D materials. Can you have a look to the grass? Yeah. Looks nice. Yeah.
Yeah, so all the airports are modeled like this with all custom buildings and as you see, this is also a sloped runway. So this runway is not flat. See, there's a little dip at the end. Several airports have this. I think this airport also has like it runs downhill, looking in this direction. You can see the power plant there in the distance.
Yeah, you're welcome, Moritz. Good luck
So,
with
I think
downloading.
that I'll go to bed now. Thank you guys all for watching.
Thank you
And
a lot.
all
Thanks
the
a
pilots
lot
for joining the stream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
I'll say bye as well, and see you guys later in Condor 3.
See you. Bye.